Yo, what is up, guys? Excuse the way I look. I'm powering through this last day of work before Christmas break. I look crazy. But I had to get on here and say, and the title gives it away, obviously, but CHH is doing big things. This morning I woke up scrolling on Instagram like I normally do, and I saw what looked to be a post on Rapzilla that was of the news. It was like the phone recording the news, and I was like, what could this be? My mind immediately went to something bad because, news is often bad. I actually avoid the news because of that. But it looks like the Today Show, yes, the Today Show, did a segment on Christian hip hop, and they were interviewing none other than Mr. Justin Sarachik of Rapzilla. And I was like, what? Am I dreaming? I don't think I was fully awake. But I watched the whole thing. It's about 5-6 minutes. They talked to Justin. They were talking about the obviously they're talking about the 50-year anniversary of hip hop. They were talking about how Christian hip hop became a thing and how it's progressed. And they talked about everybody from the beginning up until now. They're naming Miles Minnick and I don't want to give it all away because at the end of this I'm gonna play the clip that I borrowed. I don't think Justin or Rapzilla will have a problem, but they talked to Lecrae too. They were just really shining a light on Christian hip hop through the years, we'll say. And it was a really huge deal because, like, I can't think of another time that this has happened. I mean, I haven't been in CHH all that long, but I can't think of this happening a lot of times, So it just means that we're doing the right thing. We're getting our genre out there because it is small, and we talk about often how it's a very niche space, but it's effective. They talked about it's got tens of millions of streams. It's growing. It has been, along with hip hop, and it's a big deal. So I think this is a big deal. So shout out to Justin Sarachik. He's a journalist extraordinaire. I look up to that man. Shout out to Rapzilla, of course. And I'm going to have the video right after I stop talking that I believe Justin took. I'm not positive, but somebody took it and watched the whole thing. Obviously, go check out Rapzilla's post of it. Shout out to Justin. Give him props because it's a huge deal. He's representing all of us. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think we're heading in a positive direction, if we can really make an impact in the world. So appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get back to work. Merry Christmas.
Area of music is really kind of getting extra popular.
Yeah, it's combining both. If hip hop is the most popular genre of music in America, Christian hip hop is a strong offshoot. Some of its songs have been streamed tens of millions of times, a testament to its power. The rhythm and the rhyme. Hip-hop has become a vibrant pillar of American music since it was founded 50 years ago. It's had an impact on fashion, culture, and faith. Christian hip-hop started in the early 80s, a natural offshoot of hip-hop fans who are focused on their belief in Christ. Justin Sarachik is the editor-in-chief of Rapzilla. It's a website devoted to following Christian hip-hop.
Different artists in that era is kind of like, hey, there's nobody that's instilling positive messages, rapping about the Bible.
Christian hip-hop started in the 80s with acts like Pete McSweet, Stephen Wiley, Michael Peace. DC Talk found a wider audience in the late 80s and 90s, and groups like the Cross Movement that gained the respect of mainstream hip-hop.
Stephen Wiley kind of saw what Sugar Hill Gang was doing and different artists in that era and was kind of like, hey, there's nobody that's rapping about God. There was Michael Peace, who saw the crack epidemic hitting New York and said, I'm gonna make a song about crack and why it's whack. And then you had DC Talk that sort of filled the need of that more pop-friendly, uplifting, and it's unashamedly about Jesus.
Then came Lecrae, releasing his album Real Talk in 2004. The first of 11 studio albums, including Gravity, which won the 2013 Grammy for Best Gospel Album, the first hip-hop record to receive the award. We sat down with Lecrae on the 20th anniversary of the release of Real Talk.
Your genre, how would you say it's changed over that 20-year period?
It was like an underground movement. And I remember in 2011 being able to do the BET Awards and being on a national stage, and just the world opened up.
Born Lecrae Devon Moore, he grew up in Houston with time spent in California. There was poverty and crime that threatened to swallow him up until he found his faith and his calling.
Would you say you're a Christian who performs hip-hop? Or would you say you're a hip-hop artist who happens to be a Christian?
And I'm not ashamed to acknowledge my faith, you know, that I believe in Jesus. But I do think Christian is a better noun than it is an adjective. It's like, who am I? And that defines me as a person. What I do is different. And so I want to be respected for what I do.
He's won dozens of awards, collaborating with mainstream artists like Tori Kelly.
And then I'll find you.
I'm hanging on by a thread, and all I'm playing to his prayers.
When there wasn't a record label for Christian hip hop, he co-founded one, Reach Records.
I'm Gabriel.
He also plays the Archangel Gabriel in the new movie Journey to Bethlehem.
Good. Okay.
His own journey has been rocky at times, with his public stances on social justice putting him at odds with some church leaders.
When I talked about racial injustice, people perceived it as being political. And I was like, no, I'm being biblical, right? The Good Samaritan, the story of the Good Samaritan, this is a biblical agenda. I care about people who are broken. They couldn't understand that.
After 2 decades in the spotlight, Lecrae is still touring, both the man and his music, in a place of his own making.
What role do you see Christian hip hop specifically in the larger world of popular music?
I think it's good music for the church, and it's good music from the church to the world. I think it's both. And I mean, that's beneficial for everybody.
I guess I already got on my church clothes.
So, I mean, the object of the music is to introduce the goodness of God to a new audience. So what they're doing is they're meeting the audience where they are with a genre that they can relate to. And there are a lot of new acts out there, like Miles Minnick, there's a guy named Hovey, No Big Deal, I especially enjoy right now. And Lecrae, by the way, doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk as well, does a lot of work in his community. And he's also helped launch a nationwide campaign aimed at mentoring young men on fatherhood.
Awesome. What a Grammy. I mean, he won a Grammy 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Been doing it a long time, needs more press.
Well, I was
Thank
about
you
to
for
say,
saying
it's
that.
really your
The light's got to be shined on this genre of music and get more publicity.
Yeah, it's growing.
And so if you want to hear some of this music, do you just have to go on streaming or?
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Well, now we know.
Yeah.
A lot of us know. Most of you know. All right.
Coming up next, guys, Chef